I have lied to you and I am very sorry. But I'm here today to fix my mistakes because this is something that I've neglected to tell you guys for so long. And I've neglected to tell you because this is something that I have been doing for a very long time. So I thought it was just kind of a given and I didn't even think about it. But I need to tell this now because I'm pretty sure if you're taking certain supplements but they're not really working, this may be why. And that is, what order do you take supplements in for them to be most effective? Now, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This YouTube channel is just for entertainment purposes only, so you take everything that you hear with a complete grain of salt. Please go talk to your doctor, and please don't blame me for anything, because I'm just a YouTuber and this is just for entertainment. But with that out of the way, what is the correct order you should be taking your supplements in? Now, for your convenience, I've broken everything down into essentially 4 categories, or 4 kind of bases of a pyramid. Because if you're not doing the thing at the very bottom, then the thing at the very top will not work, or not work as effectively. And so that is what I'm going to be going over in this video. How can you take your supplementation to the next level? And the first layer is, you probably guessed it, your diet, your sleep, and your exercise. These 3 things are the key fundamentals to any supplement, because in fact, if these 3 things are out of whack, realistically, no supplement that you take will be very effective. And yes, that includes coffee. In my opinion, most people are taking coffee wrong because they're neglecting this base layer of things that you need to do in order for caffeine and for coffee to be effective. Because in my opinion, caffeine is a really good supplement, but it's not one that should be taken every single day, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. If you need to drink coffee that much, then these things are very, I can almost guarantee it, out of whack. How do I know this? Because I did the same thing. I used to drink 8 shots of espresso every single day and I felt like trash. And in fact, I needed to drink coffee in order for me to even function. But that goes for every other supplement as well. Things like lion's mane that helps you with your REM sleep does not work if you do not sleep enough. So let me quickly touch on what I specifically mean by each of these categories. So starting right off with your diet, I'm specifically just going to say not the standard American diet or the SAD diet that's full of very simple sugars, just a lot of sugar, a lot of processed foods, a lot of artificial things. Those things are of course not going to be very good for you. And if you take them and you eat them, then any supplement that you're gonna take is just gonna be a lot less effective. And so it's gonna be the most cost-effective thing for you to fix your diet first. Now, it doesn't have to be, super high-end foods, but just kind of watching out in terms of what you eat will do wonders. Now, I'm not recommending a specific diet, mostly because no matter what I say, somebody else will correct me, because most diets out there, other than the standard American diet, the SAD diet, are probably, in terms of your health, pretty close to equal. Doesn't matter if you're a vegan, vegetarian, keto, paleo, you all think you're right, and that's because you're pretty much right. I'd say most diets are much healthier than just kind of eating whatever you want to eat. And so, no matter what diet you choose, and let me know down in the comment section down below what your particular diet is like. No matter what you choose, as long as you kind of stay away from the very simple sugars, the processed meats, and just a lot of the inflammatory foods that are very common in the SAD diet, I think you'll find it to be a huge boost to your overall health, and it will let you take the other supplements with much more effectiveness. Next up is your sleep. Now, I'm not telling you to go take 8 exact hours of sleep because you might need more, you might need less. Listen to your body. If you're always tired, you should probably sleep more. Now, no matter who you are, you probably can. I know there are some situations where you really can't sleep more, and those times it's totally fine to sleep less. But if you can, you probably will want to invest a little more time into your sleep because that will pay you huge dividends. Now, I would even go as far as to say you might want to get some sleep tracker like the Oura Ring or like a Fitbit or something like that, or at least get a sleep tracking app, because that way you know exactly what your sleep is gonna be like. And by tracking your sleep, even relatively inaccurately, that's still better than nothing, because it still lets you make improvements to it. And the third one, your exercise, basically just get some. Because if you're just sedentary, which I know a lot of people are, then supplements, again, aren't gonna do all that much. Because if you're trying to gain more energy, just going on a 20-minute walk every single day will do you a lot of good. And that's kind of the base layer of what you want. Again, it's diet, exercise, and sleep. Onto the next layer. And we're sitting down for this one. This level is what I call your basic level of supplementation. These are the baseline things that your body needs in order to function at a steady level. These are things like vitamin D, like vitamin C, like magnesium, fish oil, iron, all of these good stuff that you would find at the back of a multivitamin bullet, you probably need to supplement. Now, you might not need to supplement all of it, and I strongly encourage you to look into it. Go get yourself tested and see if you're deficient in one or more than one of these things. For instance, I didn't have enough vitamin D, so when I started supplementing more of it, I all of a sudden needed to take less caffeine, needed to take less shots of espresso. Because beforehand, when I didn't have enough vitamin D, I needed to take a lot more stimulants to actually have the same amount of energy. But when I gave my cells the things that they wanted to function properly, well, all of a sudden, lo and behold, they were functioning properly. And all of a sudden, I needed to stop taking a lot less coffee. And so that is the importance of these basic level vitamins. You need to ensure that you have enough of these before looking into the vitamins at the next level. And for those of you guys that are wondering, caffeine or coffee is on the next level. And we are pretending that this is still the same day and not like 3 days later because I got cut off last time. But the third layer, this is where things start to get really, really interesting, because this is where we go from 100% to 110 to 120% of what your body is able to do. And we are able to do this because we now have taken our bodies to 100% through good diet, nutrition, exercise, and good basic supplementation. If you're doing all of those things, then you're really ready to start pushing your body further and further and further. Because if you don't do all of those things, if you just skip to straight to this level, then you will feel pretty good for a few weeks. However, on the back end, you are further and further and further depleting your body. Take coffee, for instance. Coffee is a fantastic supplement. Again, I really like coffee. I actually had a shot of espresso, because I'm a bougie European, right before filming this segment. But the thing about coffee is if you take it at, say, 40% of what you're naturally capable of, it might take you up to 60, 70, 80%. But on the back end, it's depleting a lot of resources. It's depleting a lot of neurotransmitters, a lot of your body's energy. And so the next day, you're even worse off. Say instead of 40%, you're now at 30%. And the next day, you're even lower and lower and lower until you need to take so much coffee to feel well. Instead of doing that, if you're doing great, if you're at 100% and then you drink coffee, well, all of a sudden you're at 110%. You're able to push yourself. It's like an engine. Imagine if an engine is at 100% repair and you push it to its limits. You're really stepping on the gas pedal and you're making that car go super fast. Now, if you do that to a perfectly well-functioning engine, all of a sudden that car can go for a very long time without having any problems at all. But imagine if the car is an older car and has a lot of dings and it's very poorly maintained and its oil has never been changed. If you push that car to its limits, it's gonna break. And that is similar to a human body, because essentially we're just very, very complex engines. If we treat our engine well and we cover our two bases, then all of a sudden we're able to push ourselves with the following supplements. Supplements on this list include things like lion's mane, cordyceps, chaga, more natural things and things that you can take every single day without them bioaccumulating too much. But they could also include more man-made things like citicoline or NMN, the latter of which, NMN, is something that I'm extremely excited about and that I've actually made a review for, or I am making a review for next week. If it's out, it's down in the description down below. Or if it's not out, do hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications to catch that. Trust me guys, you do not want to miss that one. And so we've reached the final layer of our pyramid. These are the supplements that you can only really take maybe 1 to 2 times a week, but they have some profound effects. These are things like alpha GPC and Phenibut. Now I realize some of you commented that it's actually pronounced Phenibut, but I'm gonna keep calling it Phenibut. So these two are probably two of my most heavy-hitting supplements that I take in a semi-regular basis. Again, no more than maybe 1 to 2 times a week. This one, Alpha GPC, is fantastic for just getting things done, whereas Phenibut is a really good social lubricant. The way I described it in my video, and you can check that out, is it's like being drunk, but without actually needing to be drunk. So all of the social inhibition is gone, but you're not actually drunk. It's a really cool and really profound substance. However, if I take it more than 1 day in a row, the second day I basically don't feel it at all. So it's really only like a once a week thing. Now, if you've noticed, I haven't actually talked about things like pharmaceuticals, and there's a very good reason for that. The main reason is that if your doctor tells you to take something, you should probably take it. However, I would always argue that if you're eating well, resting well, and your nutrition and supplementation is on point, then any pharmaceutical you are taking will only make it that much better. On screen right now, you have a few recommendations from me on which video you should watch next if you want to take your supplementation to the next level. As always, do hit that subscribe button, do hit that bell notification icon, because there's a lot more of these videos coming for you in the very near future. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.